Welcome to the chat where the deals get done. Real estate tips and a whole lot of fun. Think different, achieve your goals. Real Estate Simplified, that's how we roll.
Hey, good morning. We're back at it. This is Brandon Rizk over at Allied Mortgage Group, and I'm here with broker owner Mike Kruse of Reside Realty. Welcome back, Mike. Nice to see you.
You as well.
And today we want to focus on something that all Las Vegans, is that what we call each other?
Right.
We all laugh about. It's a really hot topic when it comes to real estate, and I think we want to focus today on the difference between two areas, Summerlin and Green Valley or Green Valley Ranch.
Right. It's actually a question I get all the time, people when they're thinking of moving here. Do I want Henderson, Green Valley, or do I want Summerlin?
Right.
And everybody has an opinion on it.
Everybody has an opinion on it, and
Right.
we'll start by saying this is our opinions, but basically, I'm going to be a little biased. I live in one of them, but at the same time, I will tell you that today we're here to present some facts of the communities. It may sound biased, but we are just giving our opinions, based on the facts that we see.
Right.
So, Mike, real quick, I do want to just mention before we get into Summerlin, Green Valley, is that some of the market update with rates and what's happening out there. Over the last few weeks, I've seen it flat and flat and flat. Maybe even a little tiny turn for the worse over the last few weeks. But we're starting to see a minor shift when it comes to the economic news that's come out, and it seems that the economy is quote unquote softening.
Right.
Which is, I don't know if I hate to talk like this, but it's a good sign for rates. It's not a good sign for the world or the economy, but it's a good sign that they might start bringing rates down overall, and we're starting to see that with the ADP thing that came out yesterday. It was way below where they thought it would come in at,
Right.
so
And
we
that
did
was
see a
for
good
jobs, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was a jobs report essentially, and it came in way less than expected. And we did see a great improvement yesterday in bonds and yields, and I think that is a projection of what's to come. It is a slow process. It's not going to happen overnight, but I am very happy to see some light when it comes to the rates potentially coming down, or even more pressure put on, Fed Chairman Powell and all of that stuff. So
silver lining to a softening economy.
Yes. I mean, I hate to talk like this. I'm a mortgage guy, but we kind of hope for, when rates are high, we kind of hope for that recession word. We hope for those things, and it sounds bad, but, to get affordability down and things like that, that's what we need, so that's a good sign. So.
All right.
But back to it, I got that out, and let's talk about the two areas, Mike. Summerlin, Green Valley. Now, when I say Green Valley, I'm going to say Green Valley Ranch is included. But where are they? Tell us, for the viewers who aren't in our town.
So Summerlin, it used to basically end at Lake Mead. In recent years, if you're west of the 215, it actually goes all the way up to Cheyenne now. There's the Reverence Village.
It's quadrupled in size.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Pulte Homes built a whole village that's actually back in a canyon. You can't even see it. And if you're there, you don't even know the rest of Las Vegas exists. But there's some absolutely gorgeous homes, from every price point, from the 400s up to the millions, all within that Reverence Village.
Wow.
So
huge master plan community.
Huge master plan within the master plan of Summerlin.
Yeah.
And it's part of it's guard gated, part of it's not. Just an amazing community. But Summerlin starts basically at the 215 and Cheyenne and goes all the way south down to about Russell Road in the Mesa Village. And the defining borderline is Wallapai, although in the northern section...
If you're not from Vegas, you cannot pronounce that word.
Right.
If you're not Hawaiian or you're not from Vegas, you cannot pronounce that word.
I've been here 30 plus years. I don't know if I pronounce it right still.
Me neither. I emphasized the H. You didn't.
Right.
It is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But on the northern end of Summerlin actually extends all the way out to Buffalo. And then the further south you go, basically from Charleston south, Wallapai is the border for Summerlin. And like I said, it goes all the way south of Russell Road in a couple of spots there, up against the hills on the far south end of town, behind the water park.
Okay.
So,
And
yeah.
Green Valley's in the southeast. You know, more towards, well, it's in Henderson, and it's in the southeast side of town. Let's, use the 215 as our marker. It starts roughly around Eastern and Pecos area, all the way as north as Sunset, all the way as south as maybe Horizon Ridge area. And it goes all the way probably as west to just past Valley Verde, maybe Oro Grande, or even some parts of Stephanie. I would maybe include that area, I guess. Big area, but definitely not as big as Summerlin. And Green Valley Ranch in specific is really only, 215 south, in between Pecos and Valley Verde. That's really Green Valley Ranch. So that's a smaller section within Green Valley. So. But let's talk about more. Why do we hear about them, and most importantly, and what we see, why do the values stay so high in these areas?
The values stay high. I know a lot of people don't like HOAs, but the values stay high because of the HOAs. They have very high standards in those communities to where they keep the homes nice, they keep the streets nice. You're not going to drive through Green Valley, down Green Valley Parkway, and see trash along the side of the road. The same thing if you drive downtown center through Summerlin. It's just not going to happen. So both of those communities, and it's not that the HOAs are super strict, they just have high standards where they take care of everything.
That's a good way to put it, Mike. That's actually a really good way to put it,
Right,
because they're really not that
they're
strict.
not that
I've
strict.
seen way more strict HOAs.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. But and what it is, there's enough homes to where they collect enough money that they can have the proper staff that takes care of the roads and the streets. And I know a couple years ago in a Longtown Center in Summerlin, they tore out the trees and put in new trees because the trees were starting to just get too big and overtake the street. While I personally thought it looked great, but yeah, it looks nicer once they replaced it.
Right.
Looks new again. So yeah, it's just,
even with age. I mean, Green Valley at some point, some of it was built in the 80s. I mean, early 80s. And then some of it, Green Valley Ranch, I'd tell you mid 90s and up. But even with age, it still has aged beautifully, in my opinion.
Right.
Even parts of, Summerlin, the town center by Meadows School over there and all that. I mean, just north of Tivoli, in my opinion, that's probably the original Summerlin, in my opinion.
Right, the Paseos Village.
Yeah, and even that has aged beautifully. I mean, it's just mature, but it's also clean.
Right.
You go to a lot of areas in the country and, look at Beverly Hills, for God's sakes. I mean, it's it's 60, 70 years old, whatever it is, but it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
But let's dive into it. Why what? Why these areas?
They're well known, they're master plan communities. So what is a master plan community? Basically, it is where they have those CC&Rs, which are covenants and restrictions within the neighborhood, what you can do with your home. And by master plan, they truly designed the entire area before they built anything, before they even put one stick in the ground. And for Summerlin, that was back in 1990, I believe, and it was around the same time for Green Valley.
Right.
So to think that they planned out all of this stuff, they're still building in Summerlin here in 2025. So 35 years later, they're still building on the same plan that was done 35 years ago.
Wow.
It's kind of awesome to think that, wow, they had the vision to make all of this happen over the years.
Right.
So yeah, that's truly where the master plan idea comes from. And they are the two largest master plans within Southern Nevada.
Right.
So that's why we hear the most about them.
Well, let's deep dive. Let's talk about the individuality of each area. If you don't mind, I'm going to go into Green Valley.
Okay.
Green Valley Ranch. I am from there. I live there. I've lived there for almost 20 years. In fact, I'm so partial, I've owned 3 houses in the same neighborhood on the same street. That's how much I like this
Really?
area. I'm a psycho, I get it. I like change, but not too much, right?
Right.
So, you know, I love it personally. Henderson it's more of a bedtime community, Green Valley Ranch, compared to Summerlin.
Right.
You know, the nightlife is there, but it's not like you would find on the west side of town. And I'll let Mike dive into Summerlin. You know, you go there, in my opinion, it's very family oriented. There are, I think, more parks per capita, I mean, than anywhere.
Right.
I mean, I don't care if the park is 20 by 20. There's a park in every corner almost.
Right.
There's walking trails, and when I say walking trails, I'm not just talking about a walking trail along the road. I'm talking about deep within communities, in between back houses and in between subdivisions, with mature trees all around. There are walking trails with lighting. You can go at nighttime. It is safe. They have spaces for dogs. They have spaces, you know, for motor scooters. I mean, they have spaces for everything. They've thought it through.
Right.
You know. Go ahead if you have
I
something.
was just going to say on the parks, I know you say family oriented. You can't drive by a park in Henderson on a weekend without some type of family sports activity. The kids playing
everywhere.
baseball, football, soccer, whatever it is. If it's a park that offers that sports amenity, there's something going on every weekend.
Absolutely, there's no question. In fact, there's the district, which is at Green Valley Ranch, the hotel mega resort. Okay, the district is, you know, bars, shopping, restaurants, walking. But on the other side of the district, in the far side, they used to have what's called, I think they still do, is called Movies in the Park.
I was just
So,
going to bring
you
that
know,
up.
as a family, you know, as a family man, I have children. We've walked from my house to there, sat in the park and watched movies and stuff like that with all the community around us. You know, they have the Lee's Family Forum, which is also across the street from that, which is where the Henderson Silver Knights play. There's some NBA G League that goes there. There's the lacrosse team. I couldn't tell you. I don't know anything about lacrosse.
Desert Dogs, I believe.
Desert Dogs, thank you. And then they have the Nighthawks, which is arena football. So that's all happening. I mean, you know, as a father, I have a son and 2 girls. And, you know, there's a lot of times where we'll just take a walk there and just go there and make a day out of it. You know, we'll go see a sporting event, and it's a good event. You know, it's a brand new arena. It's beautiful. You know, as far as nightlife goes, we have the district, you have Green Valley Ranch, and then they are building an area called the Cliffs. This is just approved by the Henderson City Council. They are going to make an outdoor restaurant, bar area. They're tearing down a lot of office space for this, and they call it the Cliff because the one side of it will look over the entire valley of Las Vegas.
Awesome.
So,
and that's just to the west of the Green Valley Ranch Resort, right?
correct.
Okay.
It'll be and then there's Lifetime Fitness. It's right next to Lifetime Fitness and
Okay.
everything. So, bottom line is, in Green Valley Ranch, my opinion, not to go too much into it, if you're looking for the family-oriented, the parks, the shopping, the restaurants, but you don't want crazy nightlife. You just want to, be in a more family community, in a safe place. One more thing to add: Henderson, for many, many years, was rated the safest city, 3rd safest city in the United States.
Right.
So that's how safe Henderson is, and how wholesome, in my opinion, it is. You hear Las Vegas. If you're from somewhere else and you worry about that, in Henderson, you feel like you're in Middle America. I do believe that. So.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got your high end, you've got your Roma Hills right next door, McDonald Ranch, Ascaya, the Estates, the Fountains, Legacy, Grand Legacy. So I mean, there's high end neighborhoods, but there's also affordable options all the way down to the 300-400 range. You know, between that. So no matter what price range you are in as an individual, it should fit for you in the Green Valley Ranch area. So, but,
there's definitely some classic Vegas, what I call classic Vegas style homes, a little bit older homes with that deep plush carpet down over off of like Green Valley Parkway and La Mesa on the far north end of Green Valley.
But you don't feel like you're in Las Vegas. In a lot of these neighborhoods, they're very green, they're lush. I mean, bigger yards. I mean, you don't feel like you're in the desert in a lot of those areas.
They called it Green Valley for a reason.
That's right. It is green. It's very green. So, but
it is.
That's my humble opinion. But I do think it's a wonderful place. But also just as wonderful is Summerlin. Mike, tell us more about Summerlin.
Summerlin, as I mentioned earlier, it's been building since 1990. Literally started on the corner of Lake Mead Boulevard and Buffalo, and it's just grown from there. All the shopping, dining, it's not by mistake. There was a little bit of a hiccup. Downtown Summerlin was delayed several years due to the Great Recession, but it did open, I want to say back in the end of 2014, I believe. And
Which is awesome.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing. I mean, you think of it, it's there.
Right.
So many amenities.
Absolutely everything. I actually had a networking event over there yesterday, and just a great little restaurant and bar with amazing food. And
I went to a Santa parade there.
Yeah.
I went to a Christmas parade there. My kids, my wife, they drug me, and I don't want to go all the way to Summerlin.
And at Christmas time,
it was awesome. They had fake snow coming down, and it was so cool. Anyway,
they do the little ice skating rink at Christmas, and Santa Claus, the whole 9 yards. I know they do that in the district too with for the holidays.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's basically everything around there. Summerlin is broken into distinct villages, and each village has its own distinct feel. There's one called the Trails, the Canyons, which is built literally on a natural canyon, and the homes that line those canyons are absolutely
stunning.
Have some of the best views.
Stunning.
And all price ranges built on the canyon. That's kind of the neat thing about that, is they really wanted to give all of the amenities to everybody, regardless of what your budget is.
Yeah, you don't need to buy a $2 million house to be there.
Right.
You know, right.
Right. No, there's some beautiful townhomes in the 400,000s that have a full view up the canyon into the mountains of Red Rock. Absolutely amazing. And obviously, you have all the shopping you need, everything from Costco. I think the Costco there's one of the busiest in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the one in Hawaii, because I know that's number one.
Well, I mean, you have downtown Summerlin. You also have Tivoli Village. I mean, there's two.
Right.
Like Green Valley is the district. But
Tivoli Village is
things.
Technically not in Summerlin.
It's close enough to me. It's
It
close
is,
enough.
and you will hear a lot of people say, "Oh, it's in Summerlin." Is it in Summerlin proper? And for those of you that live in Summerlin proper, you know the difference. I know you do, because you
Park?
call
What
people
about
out on
Boca
it all the
Park?
time. Right.
You know.
Boca Park, beautiful shopping and dining. Once again, not in Summerlin proper, but it definitely is Summerlin area.
Us Green Valley people just associate that all the same.
Right.
That's my bad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you say you're going to Summerlin.
Yeah, to me, it's everything Summerlin West, but that's
Right.
But
it is just crossing up the street a little bit, a block. Schools and parks, every neighborhood in Summerlin, when you pull into the neighborhood, there's typically a little green space for just a small community park. Unlike the parks in Henderson, Green Valley area, these tend to be on a smaller scale, where they're just a green belt, green area where you can go when the weather's good, take the dog out for a walk, relax, stuff like that, take the kids out, but no active sports or anything like that. They do have a lot of parks. Basically, I think there's one for every 2 villages in Summerlin for a larger park with sports, baseball fields, and soccer fields, stuff like that. Schools,
the ballpark.
well, yeah, there's, in addition to downtown Summerlin, Red Rock Resort, City National Arena, the Las Vegas Ballpark, all within that, what is called Summerlin Center. Here we are in June of 2025. Brand new Whole Foods just opened there, and from what I understand, there's literally a line to get in every day.
Yeah, I believe that.
Kind of crazy. But yeah, no, that area is that is the center of the Summerlin area. If you spend any time there, you're going to go there. Absolutely fantastic offerings.
I think the bottom line, Mike, is, and I think both areas are just awesome.
They are.
Everybody has their own taste. I know people that have lived on both sides, and they all say each one offers its own flavor, and they said they weren't unhappy on either one.
Right.
So I think the bottom line for our viewers who's asking these questions is, you can't go wrong. It's more of just what your personal preference is at that time. Is it more of the function, the amenities, is it the nightlife, or is it, hey, I just want parks, I want to do the family thing, whatever it may be. I don't think either way you're going to go wrong, but which one might offer more to what your taste is.
Well, absolutely. And both communities offer everything from apartments, condos, townhouses, all size single-family homes, and they both offer 55-plus communities.
That's right.
In Summerlin, you have Sun City Summerlin. Down in the Green Valley Ranch area, there is Sun City McDonald Ranch.
Right, which is right behind Green Valley Ranch.
Right. So literally both of them offer everything.
Right.
Some will argue there's more better restaurants in Summerlin.
There is. I'm going to say there is.
But Henderson's picked up a couple of them recently.
When the Cliffs opens, it'll be nice, but Henderson or Green Valley has fell behind on that. But that's
right.
But that's not the MO there. I mean, the MO there is more, again, bedtime community. Absolutely, that's what the MO is. So, but let's watch out. I'm going to let you elaborate this because there's one other area that a lot of people are moving to that has made the news. It is the southwest side of town. Tell me about the southwest real briefly, Mike. Watch out because these two neighborhoods are getting rivaled now.
There's actually a few things everybody talks about over there. Number one came about, 7-8 years ago with IKEA when they opened.
Yep.
Since then, you have the Durango Resort, absolutely going gangbusters. It's been open a year and a half, and they're already enlarging it, adding on. Also, you have the Uncommons across the street from the Durango Resort, which is a shopping and dining complex, along with some living accommodations.
Right. And office space too,
office
I believe,
space,
right?
Yeah. And then opposite side of the freeway on the IKEA side, there's a brand new flagship Ashley Furniture that just opened.
It's huge.
It's massive.
Massive.
Yeah. There's also some new shopping and dining that's gone in along Sunset at Durango there, with more coming in.
Lifetime's coming.
Lifetime Fitness is going in on the corner there also.
It's big if Lifetime's coming, right?
Right.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. So while that in its area in itself is not per se a master plan community, it definitely has all the features of a master plan.
Absolutely.
And maybe a little more traffic.
But no, it's great.
Yeah.
But, so bottom line is, those two areas, again, just awesome areas. Even the Southwest is up and coming. It's huge. It's wonderful. I don't think you'll go wrong in any of the three, but, everybody has their preference here in town. We just wanted to touch on the rivalry that we all know as Las Vegans. We hear this so much, so we thought we would touch on it. So
absolutely. Have a little more fun, relaxed feel to it today. But we're going to switch gears a little bit. And we're going to talk about some featured properties. So if we could get the slides up for a couple homes we have to feature this week. Here we have 3141 Monet Sunrise. This home
is that in Vegas, Mike?
It's not.
It
doesn't look like it, does it?
That looks like it's in Oregon, dude.
I know. It is here in the valley. It's in Inspirada, which if you're not familiar with Inspirada, it's the western part of Henderson.
It's a beautiful house.
This home, I believe, was built around 2005, 2006. It's listed at $590,000. It is just over 2,800 square feet. It has 4 bedrooms, absolutely a gorgeous home. The neat part about this home is where it's situated in the community. This community, when Inspirada was first built, it was made to give a little bit different feel. So you can see the trees out front. It feels almost like you're in the Northeast in the fall.
And Northwest, Northeast.
You have the feel of the seasons in this neighborhood, where the leaves change and all of that good stuff. It just doesn't feel like you're in the middle of the desert.
Right. It doesn't feel desert.
Yeah. So if we could go on to the next slide, and if you want to go ahead and roll through them. Beautiful home, wood floors in part of the downstairs area. Absolutely pristine, move-in ready home. You have the island kitchen, like I said, over 2,800 square feet for $590,000. It's actually, in my opinion, it's the absolute best deal in all of Henderson.
Wow.
Based on the size of the home. It is zoned for Liberty High School, Ellis Elementary, which is a newer elementary school within Inspirada with great ratings. The downfall, see the yard here, the yard's definitely on the smaller side. What you see there is pretty much what you get. And then the garage is in the back of the home. So you actually, what they call alley loading.
That's very East Coast.
Very East Coast, but a good part of most of Inspirada, actually, even some of the newer homes there, they are alley loading.
That's not such a bad thing, because if you're out in the front yard, you're not worried about a car driving by and flying
Right.
past you and all
Right.
that stuff.
And
I mean, it's nice.
tends to keep the streets out front a lot cleaner, clearer.
I don't have a big
And-
truck parked in front of my house
Exactly.
every day. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
That's cool.
And the next property we have is 8216 Brittany Harbor Drive. This home is located in South Shores, which is right next to Desert Shores, right up off, just outside Summerlin, off of Rampart and Lake Mead. This home is 2782 square feet, 4 bedrooms. It actually has the potential to have a 5th bedroom. There's a downstairs den with a 3/4 bath right next to it.
Oh, that's cool.
So it can be a 5th bedroom. This home is listed at $619,000. The only thing, and
In California, this home's $1.5 million, no question.
easy,
In LA.
easy,
right?
easy. Yeah, no, this home is beautifully upgraded with wood floors throughout basically the whole home. There is a couple areas of tile in the kitchen and dining area, but otherwise absolutely gorgeous. Modern light fixtures, custom painted cabinets. They white on the top, they're like a bluish gray on the bottom. Absolutely gorgeous feel to it. Hurry, act now on this one. This one actually might be going into escrow today. And the primary bath is absolutely gorgeous with that big soaking tub.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Nice backyard, covered patio.
And the area of Desert Shores too. I mean, it's really cool. It's got, you know, for people who don't know, it's got a few mini lakes, so to say, where it's got some restaurants on the lakes. It's got some parks on the lakes. And
Right.
my buddy actually used to live there. He used to take his kid and go feed the ducks. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just not something you think of in Southern Nevada. You know what I
once
mean? In the
again,
desert.
You drive through there and it's like you're not in Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And the particular home is only 5 minutes from Tivoli Village.
That's awesome.
So yeah, great.
Which is right next to Summerlin, which we just learned, right? So
Right. So, Brandon, get questions all the time regarding, especially in our current market, people, they want to move, but they have this amazing interest rate on their current home.
Yep.
How do we deal with that?
Well, I mean, like anything, Mike, it has to, you know, I get this question a lot. And because, as you know, the rates were so low during the COVID time, everybody took advantage of it and refinanced. And, you know, the problem is that you go to move and, you know, the houses cost more and the rates are higher and everything else, you know, but it has to make sense financially. I know that sounds, you know, stupid, but it really does.
Right.
You know, there's some people that are just saying, I just want to move. Well,
Right.
you know, I want a lot of things. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense financially to do that. But let's say you're having another baby, you know, or you need a bigger home. Your mother needs to move in. Whatever it
Right.
may be, anything. You need a bigger yard. You want a pool. As long as you can make sense of this. I mean, yes, a 3% rate and a lower mortgage payment, that's great. But, you know, what I always tell people, and I'll let you get into this, I'll open this conversation up, is, you know, if you're going to sell in a high market to buy in a high market, what's the difference?
Right.
You know, and I'll let you
Well-
go into that. It just, in my opinion, it has to make sense.
I was just talking to somebody yesterday about this very topic, that they have a home, they only owe about $300,000 on it. They need a bigger home, and they're looking at something, probably they want to be in a neighborhood where the price is probably going to be about $1 million.
Wow.
And where they're at right now, they could probably sell for about $700,000. So they have about $400,000 they can take and put down. And I explained to them that they can do that, and it's going to help bring that payment down. Yes, they're going to pay more than what they're currently paying, but can they still afford the payment?
But you're getting more house.
Right.
I mean, you know,
Oh,
you're getting more
They're
house.
looking at getting a lot more house.
Right.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, if they can afford the payment and they're comfortable with the payment and it's something they want to really do and they feel they need to do, then by all means, make it happen.
If you're selling high, you're getting more for your house.
Right.
Okay, yeah, you're paying more for the next house, but you just got more for your house. I mean,
Yeah.
in my opinion, yeah, you know, anytime you move up, I don't care if your rates are still 3%. Anytime you move up in a home, your payment's going to be higher. It's
Right.
just that simple.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're selling high and you're getting more money for your home and you're buying high, what's the difference?
Right.
You've got enough equity where you can put down a big chunk and you know, justify what you're doing. It's not like you just went from a $300,000 house to $1 million house and you owed 300, now you owe $1 million. No, you're not doing that.
Right.
You're taking money and rolling it.
And
Or can you, wait a minute, I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
I'm on to something. What if you take that, if you got some debt and some payments, okay, take some of that equity and don't roll it all in, pay off some of your debt. Now your lifestyle hasn't changed one bit. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to give an example here. I have a client about 7-8 years ago. They decided they needed to move, but they didn't want a higher payment. So we sold their current home. They said, we're going to rent for a year. Well, in that year, prices went up. It basically priced them out. To this, and I'm not joking, this was 7 or 8 years ago. To this day, they have not bought a home again because they have not been able to afford the payments that are out there now.
Do it when you can.
Right.
So, but listen, we're running out of time, guys, and I really like this episode. Wasn't so factual on mortgages or real estate, but I think it touched on a lot of things that people talk about in our community here. So, but if you guys can, please like, subscribe, thumbs up. I don't know how it works. Mike's better with this than I am, but
thumbs up. It's free. Subscribe wherever you're watching us. Just make sure you set the notifications. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Please ask questions in the comments. Think different, achieve your goals. Nice to see you all. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome to the chat where the deals get done. Real estate tips and a whole lot of fun. Think different, achieve your goals. Real Estate Simplified. That's how we roll.